question, what is love? Well, it's intoxicating, right? Everyone loves being in love, but do you love being in love or are you really in love? It gets kind of confusing. So we have an expert here to break it all down for us. This is Nina Atwood. She's from singlescoach.com, and you've also written a book.
Yes, Temptations of the Single Girl.
So you're going to break it down for us, what to look for, what characteristics we might have if we're actually just in love with the feeling of being in love. And you say that the first one is that if you have difficulty with commitment.
Yeah, because, commitment takes emotional intelligence and work. Falling in love is easy. That's the most fun and exciting stage of a relationship, and your heart gets pumping and it's so exciting. But to make a commitment, you've got to eventually face the fact that you are dating someone who is a human being, and they have flaws and they have problems, and you have flaws and problems, so you got to start sorting that out. That's not so much fun. But that's what it takes to have commitment.
So you think women probably get it confused, the difference of being in love and being in a committed relationship? Like that's
right.
Falling in love and then actually wanting to commit to a person in the day in and the day out.
Well, some people love falling in love.
Is the fun part.
It's the fun part. And when that starts to go away, then they go away. They kind of go, I don't want all that stuff.
Now, would you say this love being in love applies to girls? Like, I know girls who they're never without a boyfriend, that they go from one long-term relationship, and you probably know girls like this, that you've never seen them single, that they always have like the next guy lined up, ready to go.
I call it serial monogamy. You just go from one so-called serious relationship to the next. But what's happening is those relationships are starting out exciting, then they start going down the curve into, okay, we've got problems and issues to deal with. I don't want any of that. Break up, find someone new, fall in love again.
And that's kind of that next point of that they crave excitement. Like they only like the exciting part of a relationship. I mean, because honestly, who likes the...
Well, and they don't really want to put the work in to figure things out past the in-love stage.
That's it. People who crave excitement can't stand the boredom of day-to-day life. And, a lot of long-term relationships is just kind of boring. You're just kind of there together. Nothing special is happening. That's real life and real relationships.
So it's like they don't like to put the legwork in. It's like they're kind of just like, they want the fun, that honeymoon phase, but then kind of when that's over.
The honeymoon phase, but not the work that it takes for it to last.
So Nina, what's your advice to people who are at that stage?
Well, people think I'm crazy for saying this, but if you want a long-term relationship and you tend to crave excitement, get comfortable with boredom. Learn how to just be from time to time and not need something to pump you up all the time. Get comfortable with boredom. There actually have been some great longitudinal studies that have shown people who crave excitement don't live as long, and the quality of their life is poorer. But people who are comfortable with, people who are more content with day-to-day life live a lot longer and have higher quality of life.
Don't you think that people have to be content, though, with themselves? I know that when you talk about just learning how to slow down and just be quiet and it really has to do with like enjoying being with yourself, enjoying being alone. A lot of people don't like that.
It does. If you really start to look at what boredom is, it really means that you've failed to tap into a sense of purpose about your life.
Oh, I like that. Wait, say that again. Say that again.
If your problem was with boredom, it means that you haven't found your sense of purpose. You're not tapping into that.
I love that.
So when things are quiet and still, you don't like it because you don't feel that sense of purpose. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a good one. That needs to go on somebody's Facebook page as a post.
Mike Adams, there's your next Facebook status update. I think this is really interesting because I think when you talk about people that love being in love, there's this. You can't ever. Those people. I kind of talk about this again. You can't ever see those people being alone. So it's like they can't just sit and be. They can't just exist on a Saturday and do nothing. They have to tell their tale of their falling in love. Or they always have that story of love and. You're like, please, it's not that great all the time.
It's the addiction to drama. I've always got to have drama. I've got to have these highs and lows, and I've got to be constantly talking about it. So if I'm sitting there alone, I've got to be texting someone about the latest thing that happened. I've got to get on the phone and talk to people.
And that's unrealistic, honestly, right?
Well, it's not sustainable.
Do you think
that's what we say in psychology? It means that you're just going to have if your life is a series of dramas, your life goes gradually downhill with.
Well, it's like, how do those people ever exist in a marriage?
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you see in couples when there's one or both of them that like the drama all the time, something going on all the time?
Well, if they both like drama, they usually have very short relationships,
Yeah.
so it doesn't go anywhere. If one likes drama and the other one doesn't, you sometimes see those couples marry, but they'll be absolutely miserable because the one who likes drama will drive the other one
Has
crazy.
to learn how to calm
So basically,
down.
don't date
Yes.
anybody dramatic, or you're going to get a divorce.
And if you are dramatic, calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down.
yeah,
that's the
take a
real message.
Xanax.
Yes, whatever it
and
takes.
even better, find a sense of purpose in your life beyond your relationships, because
Exist without another person. Be able to exist without another person.
well, I love the way Oprah said it. She said, everyone has a path. You must find your path. And whatever that path is, then you eventually find someone who will walk down that path with you. But you have your path.
Yeah.
Whether you have a person with you or not.
And don't tell the other person
Yeah.
how to walk down their path. Don't do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Because that's
yeah.
bad.
Because everyone
Are you
has-
speaking from personal
No, I'm
experience?
just saying that would be a bad thing to do, so just don't do that, right?
Yeah, that's not a good. Well, you want to find someone that your two pathways are compatible.
Right.
You know what you're up to in life and what they're up to in life. You can walk together.
That's great advice. Great advice. Nina, thank you for being here. And
bet.
tell us your book again and where everybody can get it.
Temptations of the Single Girl. You can find it at any online bookstore, Amazon.com, and anything else.
Will you come back and let's just talk about your book and some of the tips that you have in there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Would love to.
Very
Thank you so
good.
much for being here.